Ladies and gentlemen, the College of Alameda Dance Club.
Sợ mũi tan bầy bu đốt mẹ, chịu lạnh chịu đau trong mình thân không dám đồng cho mẹ già yên giấc lúc thu canh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of Berkeley City College, Dr. Rowena Tomanen.
Congratulations, class of 2017. Good evening. Good evening. That's better. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of the Peralta Community College District, Peralta College's Chancellor Joël Laguerre, and Berkeley City College faculty and staff, it is my great pleasure to welcome you, the class of 2017, and your families and friends, to this year's graduation. We are here to celebrate you, our graduates, and your accomplishments. You are here today because you chose and remained on a path that required hard work, persistence, confidence, and focus. This year, we will confer more than 1,000 degrees and certificates to our 480 graduates. Congratulations. Graduates, we are so proud of you. We are honored that you chose to come to Berkeley City College and for bringing to us your experiences, wisdom, insights, and many other contributions. Among you, we have students who have been offered admission to universities as close as UC Berkeley, San Francisco State, Cal State East Bay, UC Santa Cruz, UC Davis, UCLA, and even as far away as Columbia University. In addition to those transferring to four-year universities, we have many who will go right into their field of study. Some who have previously completed their bachelor's degree and have come to us for hands-on training will go on for their master's degrees. The BCC mission to transform lives is evidenced every day in the work of our faculty and staff. We are here for you, and tonight we celebrate your wonderful accomplishments. Congratulations to each of you, your family, friends, and to our dedicated faculty and staff who contribute to making these graduation ceremonies a possibility and today a reality. I'd like to acknowledge and offer special thanks to BCC's 2017 Graduation Committee co-chairs, Andre Singleton and Gail Pendleton, and the rest of BCC's Graduation Committee, whose names can be found on the back of the program. Thank you. So at this time, I would like to introduce our platform guests. First, our members of the Board of Trustees. If you could please stand while I call your names. The Honorable Julina Bonilla, President. The Honorable Bill Withrow. The Honorable Linda Handy. The Honorable William Bill Riley. The Honorable Karen Weinstein. And our student trustee, the Honorable Dave Ivan Cruz. Please be seated. Now we have from the Peralta Community College District, Dr. Joël Laguerre, Chancellor. Dr. Yashika Crawford, Chief of Staff. Dr. Norma Ambrose Galaviz, Vice Chancellor, Student Services and Registrar. Dr. Mike Orkin, Vice Chancellor, Educational Services. Ms. Christine Williams, Interim Vice Chancellor, Finance and Administration. Dr. Melvinia King, Interim Assistant Vice Chancellor, Workforce Development and Continuing Education. And representing Human Resources is Venice Metcalf, Interim HR Director. Our keynote speaker, Mr. Donald Lacey. And our distinguished administrators, faculty, and staff. I would now like to acknowledge the members of our faculty who have dedicated their lives to educating you, our students, and who are retiring from Berkeley City College. Our two retiring faculty members are here as one of their final contributions to honor our graduates. With us today are Juana Alicia Areza, arts faculty, and founder of Berkeley City College's well-known True Colors mural project. Next, we have Aline Young, counselor and founder of Berkeley City College's Umoja Learning Community. Congratulations on your retirement, and if you both can please come forward. So please accept Berkeley City College's Community Leadership Award. We thank both of you for your exemplary teaching and service to our students and the college. No day of the year is as meaningful as our graduates plan to transfer to a four-year college or university, or enter or re-enter the workforce following this day. We know you will continue your education throughout your life. You are those who will lead our community, our region, our state, and our country with vision and passion and with compassion for one another. Looking at all of you, I am optimistic and filled with hope about our future. We at Berkeley City College will always remember you and your many contributions to our community. As you take the next step forward in your life, I ask you to remember what you have received from the college and to continue to take responsibility for becoming an active, engaged participant in your communities. I applaud your talents of perseverance, will, and intelligence that all of you graduates demonstrated through daily work and the countless hours of homework, reading, and research, among equally countless hours of employment, raising families, juggling extended family, and social life. What's more, each of you who are graduating have worked collaboratively at BCC with men and women different from yourself, from different countries and cultures and languages, and have crafted a common ability to celebrate each other and our common humanity. This is precisely what we need in the state of California, in the United States of America, in the world. And never so much as now, when the politics of hatred in this nation threaten the hopes of those graduating today, the hope we all share. You cannot be silent, you can speak out. You, all of us, can advocate for ourselves and our communities. For many of you seated here today in your regalia, you are the embodiment of hope and the dreams of generations that came before you. You are the reason we are all here and why hope still holds so much power for us. To close, I leave you with the words of our former First Lady, Michelle Obama. Quote, You may not always have a comfortable life, and you will not always be able to solve all of the world's problems at once. But don't ever underestimate the importance you can have, because history has shown us that courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own. Congratulations. And now it's my pleasure to introduce you to the president of the Peralta Community College District Board of Trustees, Julina Bonilla. Trustee Bonilla is a community college graduate and received her bachelor's degree from UC Berkeley. She is a former Oakland elementary teacher and eventually moved into workforce development, providing education and job training to young adults in Northern California. Her community work includes Board Vice President of Tradeswomen, Inc., National Women's Political Caucus, Oakland Workforce Investment Board, and co-chair of the Oakland Youth Council. Today, she is the program director of the West Oakland Job Resource Fair. Please welcome Board of Trustees President Julina Bonilla.
Thank you, President Tominig. And good evening, class of 2017. Let me hear some noise. Yes. So I'm going to make a little disclaimer before I start to share with you this evening that although I speak on behalf of the Board of Trustees, they bear no responsibility for what I'm about to share with you right now. So, good evening, families. Good evening, community. Today is a very special day as it marks a pivotal point in your lives and the decisions and choices you will make moving forward. I stand here before you as a community college graduate and can remember the joy, the relief, the sheer excitement you are all experiencing at this very moment, and how you have now positioned yourselves for the next challenge and those future challenges that you will obtain, achieve, and conquer. This day is your day to celebrate, embrace, and live in the moment. Take a moment, pause, close your eyes, feel this right now. It is so real for you. I am so excited. Be present in your moment. Acknowledge your hard work. Give yourself a big hug. Heck, give yourself a high five. This is amazing, yes. I see those high fives, yes. Also, within this joyous moment, I want to encourage you, each and every one of you, to honor those who have sacrificed before you and made it possible for you, for me, and others to occupy this space. Without evoking names, there are those in certain places, as you heard President Tominig mention, that would like to turn the clock backwards, but we know better. You are the next generation of teachers, doctors, policymakers, CEOs, scientists, techies. You are our future. That's right. You also are representative of the most diverse groups of people imaginable, and I know you will stay true to your humanity. Be wonderful, be great, and be good. Thank you. I also cannot end this moment with once again congratulating you, class of 2017, yes, and go Warriors.
Thank you, Trustee Bonilla. She got that in before me. Go Warriors. Okay, so now to give us greetings from the Associated Students of Berkeley City College is our ASBCC President, Ms. Vivian Allen. Vivian was born and raised in Oakland, California. She's always been a natural-born leader with a strong passion for serving her community. Vivian studied vocal music for 7 years at Oakland School for the Arts, and in 2012 earned the opportunity to tour nationwide as a background singer for Zendaya Coleman. She then shifted her focus to pursuing higher education and began studying at BCC in the fall of 2013. Throughout the 2015-2016 academic year, she served as the president of the Black Student Union, and she served as the president of our Associated Students for this academic year. Vivian is graduating from BCC with a sociology associate arts degree and transferring to the University of California, Los Angeles in the fall in African American Studies with a minor in sociology. Please welcome ASBCC President, Ms. Vivian Allen.
Good evening. Good evening. There it is. Welcome to everyone, especially family, friends, faculty, staff, administrators, and Board of Trustees, but also most importantly to my classmates. Congratulations to the Berkeley City College graduating class of 2017. My name is Vivian Allen, and it has been an absolute honor to serve as your student body president for the last year. I want to first honor all of our ancestors because we stand on their shoulders, most especially in this moment. Am I right? On behalf of my fellow graduates, I would also like to thank all of the family and the friends in this room, knowing that they are also what helped us to make it this far. So a round of applause for your family and friends. So my journey at BCC began in 2013, and the first class that I enrolled in was actually Juana Alicia's mural painting class, taught by her husband, Tirso Rezia. I stayed very low-key. I would ride BART and take the 51A-B bus lines to school, but never on Fridays, right? There's a running joke for all community college students that you never take a class on a Friday unless it's required for you to graduate or transfer. Anyways, I enrolled in a few other classes that I ended up withdrawing from, and when I started, I really had no idea what I wanted to do. I had a few classes that I liked in high school and some random interests along the way, but the idea was to figure it out eventually, right? The very next semester, I was recruited to join the Black Student Union. And I entered the conference room on the 4th floor. If you're familiar with it, it's a very large room. It was filled with about 5 people. And they were all talking about the mission of the BSU and preparing for their Black History Month in the spring. And they were a very small group, but they were very mighty. And it was there that I found my place. I became the chair of the Social Events Committee of the BSU, and I helped to recruit a lot more members to make our presence known on campus. And still, I felt as though I was the lucky one because I got to meet some of my lifelong friends in that group. It was there in the Black Student Union that I also had the pleasure of meeting the vice president at the time. Her name was Brianna Bowers. And some of you might know her, right? That's good. She transferred to UC Berkeley. But my first impression of her was that she always seemed so absent or rushing to be somewhere else. And what I now know is that the role of a student leader means that you're expected to be in 5 different places at one time. So it makes sense now. But I'll never forget what she told me. She said, "My journey at BCC started out slow too. I didn't always know what I wanted to do. I changed majors a few times. It's okay, right? It's okay." I really needed to hear that at that point in my college career, that it was okay to be a little bit lost and confused, and that somehow that permission from someone of amazing as a leader as Bree, it just helped me to breathe, right? I knew that If she was unsure at some point in her college career, but got to be in such an amazing place, that I could do that too. And so I did. I ended up becoming the president of the Black Student Union, and that small group of 5 turned to 50. And we outgrew that very same conference room on the 4th floor. Cheers. Cheers to the BSU, yeah. And I eventually got elected to become the president of the Associated Students of Berkeley City College. You all did that. You all charged me with the duties of leading you all. And as some of you might know, I actually walked the stage last year because I earned enough credits to earn a degree in the liberal arts. Earning my AA from this very institution was one of the most beautiful and gratifying moments of my life. But I am here again with a different joy and sense of accomplishment, an electrifying mix of nerves and awe. I stayed at BCC to lead and serve my community that is so dear to me, and I would not take it back for the world. I learned so much about myself in this past year and what it takes to succeed, but I also stayed to become a real competitor as a transfer student. That's real, right? So a part of that is that, again, being a leader might come as a surprise to some of you all, but I also haven't had the greatest GPA in all of my time at BCC. In fact, when I was applying to college as a high school student, I got denied admission to almost every single school that I applied to. And from that moment on, I really lived in fear of failure. I never really wanted to apply again because I was in this place of trauma, right, where I didn't want to be rejected, and I didn't want to hear no again and again and again, right? But I tried again, right? It's this community here at BCC that really helped lift me up. And there was that little voice again that said, it's okay, just try. You know what I mean? And here you all are as proof of that, right? You tried, and you did something. And I just want to remind you, right, especially everyone in this room, so many people look down on community college as if it isn't real or as if it doesn't mean something, that it doesn't mean something to earn a certificate or a degree, but I'm here today to tell you that it means everything. It means everything. It's with great pride that I say that I have been accepted into UC Davis, UC Santa Cruz, UC Santa Barbara, UC San Diego, and I will become a Black Bruin at the University of California, Los Angeles in the fall. Finally, as some of you may know, my laptop was stolen from me last week, just before finals. It was absolutely devastating to lose my very drafts of this speech and all of my schoolwork. But what I soon recognized is that I did not lose a person. There are some of you in this very room tonight who have lost loved ones, who are here watching and guiding over you in this moment. Those people are irreplaceable. The people sitting next to you and behind you and in front of you are not material goods to be bought and replaced. All of the relationships that you've created at Berkeley City College with fellow students, faculty, staff, administration, these people who have all had a part in your journey are who will carry you forward. It is the skills that we have garnered as community college students to commune and engage and network with one another that will propel us that much farther than anything else we have learned here, right? Please, please remember that and never lose that skill. We stand out because we have practiced how to ask for help. We have learned how to speak up and out for what we believe in. And so it is my pleasure to welcome you to the first of many graduations in your higher educational career. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Joelle Laguerre, Chancellor of the Peralta Community College District. His leadership and strong commitment to our students, our faculty, and our staff has inspired us all to continue to transform the Peralta colleges into one of the finest community college systems in the nation. A native of Haiti, Dr. Laguerre began his tenure as Chancellor of the Peralta Community College District in 2015. Dr. Laguerre holds a doctorate in educational leadership for college and university administration, a Master's of Science in Education and School Administration, and a Master's of Arts in French Literature from the University of Kansas. Please welcome Chancellor Joël Laguerre.
So as a chancellor, president, you should never speak after a student. How about Vivian? How great is she? Oh my God. So Vivian taught me, I said on Saturday to a group of students that you can always use anyone as your mentor. It doesn't matter how old the person is. So tonight, Vivian has mentored all of us in terms of what people mean to us. But for my own career at Peralta, she taught me one thing, in that I can give up trying to push to schedule more classes on Fridays because they are not coming to class on Fridays. Thank you, Vivian. That will save me a lot of time for trying to get some things done. For some of you, it was 2 years ago that you started at BCC. Some of you, it was 3 years ago, others 4, 6, 10, and for some of you, you didn't exactly start at BCC, you started somewhere else in Peralta, and yet, regardless of the time that it took, you are here today because you have chosen to overcome a lot of obstacles. You have overcome a lot of obstacles. Some people might have doubted you. As a matter of fact, as a first person in my family to have gone to college, I know that a lot of people doubted me, and I'm sure that you too, for many of you, a lot of people doubted you. However, you have proven them wrong because you are here tonight. Some of you are going to go to work right after, well, you're already working and you're going to be looking for a job because the people that you need to pay money back to, that you borrowed to go to school, and all of that. But some people doubted that you could actually do it. But not only have you done it, but when you go to work, you're going to show that you are so well educated, so well trained by BCC to be at the job that you are in. Pretty soon, you're going to become a manager, and we invite you back to Peralta to take additional courses so that you can be that great manager that you want to be. Some of you, people had doubted you, but here you are. You're going to transfer to UC Berkeley, UCLA, UC Davis, and many other institutions. What we expect from you and what we expect from community college students who transfer is that you will do better. You will do better than those who started at the universities, and you will have a whole lot less loan to pay back than they. You are very smart. As you heard, I earned 3 degrees from the University of Kansas. And since 1993, I've been looking for students from any of the community colleges where I have been president, dean, vice president, and what have you, to offer a $1,000 scholarship to go to Kansas. I have not gotten any taker yet. So I hope if there's one tonight, I'd like to meet you after the ceremony because I'll be retiring, well, not next year, but I'll be retiring soon. I'd like to pay that thing before I retire. I want to extend an invitation to those of you who are not graduating tonight, those of you who are not in college. As you heard from President Tomineng, we are losing 480 students from BCC who are graduating. And so we need to replace them by some more students. So just like the graduates tonight, people had doubted them, and some people might have doubted you too, that maybe you can't make it. I want you to know that BCC, COA, Laney, and Merritt are exactly the places you want to go, because we will do our best to make sure that you can make it. Whatever your ambition is, even if you already have a profession but you don't like it and you'd like to get into something else, we can help you. So we have some recruiters in the foyer that are waiting for you who need to go to college. You know, you've been postponing that thing. You have been postponing it, like some of them did. But we hope in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, we'd like to see you here to graduate you as well. Congratulations to the class of 2017, and congratulations to those who are coming soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. This year's Faculty Senate greeting comes from Juana Alicia Areza. If she could please come to the podium.
Can you see me? Good evening and welcome, graduates, faculty, staff, and families. Buenas noches y bienvenidos a todos, graduados, profesores, personal de gestión y familias de Berkeley City College. We share the graduates' pride in celebrating this important moment in our lives and that of our society in general. Never has an educated group of critical thinkers been more key to our region, country, and indeed to our survival as a planet. You right there, are that group of critical thinkers. Through your success in completing your degrees and certificates, you reflect Berkeley City College's values of academic excellence, commitment to multiculturalism and diversity, commitment to the importance of innovation, and our commitment to preparing students for citizenship in a diverse, complex, and changing global society. It is to those ends that I direct my comments this evening as I retire with my esteemed and beloved colleague, Counselor Eileen Young. You have requested that I speak to you about hope, and certainly it is an important aspect of our emotional intelligence. Hope keeps us in positive relation to others, to our prospects for survival and joy, and provides an important equilibrium in a world full of challenges. Without hope, there is no reason to work, to struggle, or to dedicate ourselves to others. However, hope has a critical corollary, without which the effort of hoping is an empty endeavor. That corollary is action. A little over 8 years ago, the country, and as a result, the world at large, experienced a tremendously hopeful moment when the US electorate chose a black man to lead this country. Significantly, someone who campaigned on the notion of hope. Barack Obama also clearly stated that the public would have to actively push him to fulfill their will. In the ensuing years of his administration, during the euphoria of this electoral blow to our ugly legacy of slavery, racism, and colonialism, many people assumed that activism on the part of the citizenry was no longer essential. Now, in the shadow of a backward march in history, at the moment the world most needs us to protect the environment, stave off the most damaging effects of climate change, enforce civil rights, and defend the vulnerable among us, our need for hope and activism is vital. What does this have to do with you? What does this have to do with you? I think you figured it out. The graduates of Berkeley City College. ready to either transfer to a four-year institution or take your place in the job market. During the beautiful 9 years I have taught at Berkeley City College, I have noticed that most of my brilliant students did not come with a trust fund or leisure time or from the lap of luxury. You came here because this is the most excellent and affordable opportunity for you to get an education that is key to your survival and success. You are as smart as any of my students at Stanford or UC Davis or San Francisco State, but you needed the preparation and support we provide. We have worked together to build academic and critical thinking skills in each other. Your work has been intellectual and will continue to be. The work of an intellectual is to deconstruct and reconstruct reality. In other words, to criticize the circumstances one confronts and to create a vision for their improvement. Last year, the faculty, staff, and administration of BCC embraced a theme that would tie all of our curriculum and networks together, rethinking justice. Through work in our different disciplines, from math to the arts and sciences to language, we have sought to bring the issues of justice to our work as teachers and learners. We've enjoyed lively discussions across the college and celebrated the students' ideas in teach-ins, especially on the part of the Black Student Union, art exhibits, and on panels, addressing the most pressing issues of our times. This work will continue next year, but for you, the graduates of 2017, I have some questions. What will you do to change the course of history? What do you hope for on a personal, local, and global level in our increasingly complex and diverse society? Do you hope for a world where our environment is clean, where we can plan for many generations into the future, where we can all feel safe to walk our streets, move freely without the fear of violence, and have equal opportunities in education, healthcare, and housing, no matter what our color, creed, culture, gender, or sexual identification? It is clear that your job will not be to simply fit into a more and more closed society, but instead to open the doors that are swiftly closing on the rights our forebears struggled so hard to win. For these reasons, we must connect our hopes to our intellectual work and our activism. How will you, in your field, help the world to move forward towards justice? Will it be working with young children in education, in creating media that project a vision of hope, or in technologies that will help us resolve the threats to the survival of all living forms? It is my hope that we have helped to prepare you to meet these challenges and that you will put your skills into action and activism. It has been thrilling to see you and so many others on the streets this May Day, on Martin Luther King's birthday, at the Women's March, or the People's Climate March, or the March for Science, standing up to and resisting the forces that seek to return us to the 1950s, the 1850s, or maybe even the 1350s. Resistance to the current attacks on the environment, immigrants, women, LGBTQ communities, people of color, people with disabilities, children, and the poor will be key to keeping hope alive. The greatest tool in this struggle will be your connection with each other. In closing, I'd like to share with you a quote about hope from the great humanitarian Uruguayan writer Eduardo Galeano, author of The Open Veins of Latin America, a central text in Latin American and ethnic studies. His wisdom refers to the kind of hope that accompanies the critical thinker with a sense of humor. La esperanza, primero en español, luego en inglés. Para mí, la esperanza es una cosa que tengo cuando me despierto, que pierdo en el desayuno, que recupero cuando recibo el sol en la calle y que después de caminar un rato, se me vuelve a caer por algún agujerito en el bolsillo. Y me digo, ¿dónde quedó la esperanza? Y la busco y no la encuentro. Y entonces, abusando el oído, la escucho allí, croando como un sapito minúsculo, llamándome desde todos los pastos. La tengo y la vuelvo a perder. A veces duermo con él y a veces duermo solito. Pero nunca tuve la esperanza de receta, comprada en una tienda de corte y confección, una esperanza dogmática. Es una esperanza viva y por lo tanto no solo está a salvo de la duda, sino que se alimenta de la duda. Hope by Eduardo Galeano. For me, hope is a thing that I have when I awake in the morning, that I lose at breakfast, and then recover in the street with the warmth of the sun, and that after walking a while, slips out of my pocket through a tiny hole. And I ask myself, what happened to hope? I search for it and cannot find it. And then, worming its way into my ear, I hear it there, croaking like a tiny frog from a distant field. I have hope, then I lose it again. Sometimes I sleep with it, and sometimes I sleep alone. But I've never had a prescriptive type of hope, the kind you can buy tailor-made at the store, a dogmatic kind of hope. The hope I have is alive, and for this reason, it is not immune to doubt. On the contrary, it feeds on it. As you build your lives, careers, and alliances, and movements, keep questioning, and hope will appear unexpectedly, the fruit of your creative thinking and activism. Thank you so much. Buenas noches.
Thank you, Juana Alicia. This year's classified Senate greeting comes from John Sáenz. If you could please come to the podium.
Hello, good evening. Congratulations for placing yourself in this position tonight. My name is John Sáenz, and I have the honor to address you on this important day on behalf of the Berkeley City College's classified staff. Classified staff are the unsung who are usually behind the scenes, working our best to make sure that you reach your goals of becoming the educated persons you intend to be. We congratulate you and wish you the best as you stand at this threshold to your new future. Mahatma Gandhi said, "We but mirror the world. All the tendencies present in the outer world are to be found in the world of our body. If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As the person changes her or his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards her or him. We need not wait to see what others do." Many things have brought us here today. Importantly, we are here because we aspire to be something great, something wise, something powerful. We are also here because of powerful vortices that swirl around us and push and pull us from and in many directions, causing us to embrace faith and to surrender to powers much greater than we. We might not readily recognize these forces or their presence, but we experience them daily, some of us much more than others. These forces are often triggered by external actors, nature, society. However, these whirlwind forces are often launched from within ourselves, ramifications from the choices we make. We know this. We know when we cause pain, We know when we cause pleasure. We must be mindful of when the consequences of our choices come back to haunt us or delight us. Thoughts and ideas that flow into and within our minds are powerful forces that absorb us every day. And these thoughts and ideas evolve into deeper reflections that lead to choices and actions that influence not only ourselves, but those in circles that expand and expand around us, creating inspiration and hope. Hope can form from a single event or from multiple events from miles away, or from a single person or multiple persons who chose to speak or act years ago. Someone close to you, an instructor, a student, a staff member, an administrator, a family member, a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, might have initiated a sense of hope that has suddenly propelled you to this moment tonight. And this hope stands in front of you at this moment in your life. It has in its lungs all that has produced it. Most importantly, this hope that stands in front of you now was formed from your choices, from your intelligence, from your determination and perseverance, from your spirit. You make this hope. You make hope. And the hard work and skills that have brought you here, the resourcefulness, the wisdom that you shaped during this stage in your life at Berkeley City College will support you and lift you as you move with this next current in your life. They will carry you as you move through your new university, as you move towards your next calling. And as Robert F. Kennedy gracefully wrote when he visited South Africa during the most devastating years of apartheid, they will create a person who will stand up for ideals, act to improve the lot of others, and sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance. Congratulations again, and thank you.
To bring it down lower. Next, I'd like to introduce our President's Medallion recipient, V. Nguyen. Stay up there. Okay. A little bit about V. V was born in Vietnam and migrated with her family to the United States when she was 10. For V's family, the luster of the American dream was not to be upon arrival, and the better life that they had dreamed of seemed more distant than ever. The family struggled to survive with both parents working multiple jobs, and there was constant crime in her neighborhood. V chose education as the way out and up. At BCC, V thrived taking courses across disciplines, including English, philosophy, psychology, sociology, making her a well-rounded student and a global citizen. She believes that in order to obliterate institutionalized discrimination and poverty, we have to focus on bringing forth economic and social equality. She plans to study economics and political science, but has not yet decided where. V has volunteered for several programs in the Bay Area, including VITA, which provides tax filing assistance to low-income families. the Prisoners Literature Project, which provides books and pen pals to inmates, and Be a Mentor Incorporated, where she mentored the son of an incarcerated father. For V, this work has deepened her understanding and passion for community, social justice, and equality. So again, it's my pleasure to award V the President's Medallion. Next, our Vice President of Student Services, Jason Sifra, will introduce our valedictorian.
Now I gotta lift it up. Congratulations and good evening. I'm gonna wait for Patrick. It's weird to describe someone who's not here. This is your valedictorian. Patrick Kruger was one of the writers behind the BCC Voice, where he served as editor-in-chief for 2 terms. The BCC Voice is published twice per semester and is entirely written by student authors. The newsletter allows students the opportunity to write for a real audience while offering a voice for Berkeley City College students. The Minnesota native followed his girlfriend to Berkeley in 2011 to support her educational goals, and in doing so, discovered his own. He calls Berkeley City College the most vibrant and encouraging learning community that he has ever been a part of. Patrick served as a writing tutor at BCC's English department and plans to continue his education in the fall at Columbia University. Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Kruger.
Thank you, everybody. I have to start with this because seated before me tonight is one of the best groups of people that I've ever been around. The Berkeley City College class of 2017. Let's hear it for them, please. Whether you're about to receive a degree or a certificate, whether you've been here for a year or for a decade, tonight we celebrate our accomplishments together. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Patrick. Hi. I'm an English major, and from time to time, I get asked about the purpose of studying literature. Whenever this happens, I say, Dad, how many times are we gonna have this conversation? Just kidding, my dad's great. All right, but still, why study literature? There are many answers to this question, but I want to give you the short version of my own. It goes like this. One of the great tragedies in life is that, as far as I know, we only get one. But through literature, we can bend the limitations of this single life. We can visit countless places, even a different era, without a plane ticket or a time machine. We can do the impossible or the daring or whatever we would do if we didn't have to have rent in by the 1st. The wonderful side effect of this is that it forces us to see the world through the eyes of someone else. The more we do this, the less we see ourselves as fundamentally different from the person on the other side of the classroom or on the other side of the world. Now, I'll admit, this is an optimistic answer to a simple and perhaps slightly condescending question, but it's the answer that gives me hope when I need it. When I think about a future job interview, for example, where I might have to explain how studying Chaucer has prepared me to analyze an evolving global marketplace. Given that hope is the theme of our commencement, I would like to leave you with a few words about my hope over the past few years. As a student who, like many of you, has had to balance school with work and some semblance of a personal life, I have struggled a lot. Whether it was the voice in my head asking, is this worth it? Or something in the news that made me wonder where my country is headed, such as, no, I'm just kidding, be here all night. The point is, I've felt discouraged often throughout this process, but without fail, my hope was renewed every single time I walked through those doors. They're down there. It was my instructors, but especially my classmates, who kept me going. Even if we never met, I saw your effort. On campus early, staying late, I saw your determination as you came to class straight from work, or from another class, or from time with your family. I saw you at one of those whiteboards in the LRC working through equations that made me grateful I only had to take stats. I saw you in the library with your face buried in a book, and sometimes I walked by and I saw your phone inside that book. I loved you for that, I did, oh my. Many of you held a door when you saw me running, late for class, trying to balance my water bottle and my books and the 3 granola bars that I brought for dinner that night. One of you even paid for my coffee at K's when I forgot my wallet. You didn't need to do that, but let me tell you, I needed that coffee, so thank you. Moments like these and countless others made the hard times, well, a little less hard. To be honest, it was fun. I hope you all have your own moments, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. More than the coursework, the frantic cramming before a test, Googling things that I probably should have learned from a textbook, more than anything, thanks. More than anything, this is what I take with me as I go. With a conversation, an act of kindness, or a look of understanding and a smile as we passed in the hallway, a small part of your world became a part of me. For that, I thank you. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, Patrick. And now we'd like to welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Donald Lacey. Donald E. Lacey Jr. is a writer, director, actor, comedian, radio talk show host, and community activist. As a comedian, he was inducted into the Bay Area Blues Society Hall of Fame in 2013. A graduate of San Francisco State University, Mr. Lacey holds a bachelor degree in theater arts with a film minor. He has a wide range of acting credits in both film and television, and has also performed extensively on stage in live performances. But Donald Lacey is perhaps best known in the Bay Area as a grieving father who turned his personal tragedy into a wake-up call for the war on children in Oakland and across the nation. He is the founder of Love Life Foundation, which galvanized the city to combat gang warfare. He has received several awards for Love Life Foundation from the Take Wings Foundation, American Red Cross, and others. Please help me give a warm welcome to Mr. Donald Lacey.
Thank you, thank you. I am very honored and humbled to be before you, and first of all, giving glory and honor to God. Without him, I would not be here. To Madam President, Chancellor, the Board of Trustees, faculty, and before I start, ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for our 2017 graduates from Berkeley City College? I am proud of each and every one of you. As the president said, my name is Donald Lacey. I was raised in Oakland, California. Yeah, but that was way before a lot of you young people's time. I grew up in Oakland when the Raiders used to win the Super Bowl. I know you never heard of that before, but it actually happened. Some of you looking like, the Raiders won the Super Bowl? I think I'll Google that. I also grew up in Oakland when Eastmont Mall had stores open. Anybody old as me in here? It actually happened. You can Google that too, young people. When I was a child growing up in Oakland, it was a time of great social upheaval. The Black Panther Party. I was on the street at 8 years old as I watched Oakland burn when the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. Even as a young child, I was aware of the struggle for justice and equality for black people. And yes, I'm black, thank you. Some of y'all looking, what kind of brother is that? Somebody's Googling that. Is he really black? Let's see. In fact, both my mother and father is black. I don't know what happened. Some of y'all looking like you don't believe me, but that's my mama's story and I'm sticking to it, okay? I also, I went to community college. I went to Chabot. I went to Fresno City. I went back to Chabot. I went to Lady. And then I ended up at San Francisco State where I have 2 Bachelor of Art degrees. Thank you. I have a degree in theater arts, as the president said. I have a degree in theater arts and a degree in black studies, which basically means I know how to act black. That's what that means, so. And looking like this, it helps, really, seriously. I was not asked to speak to you today because, and trust me, I have no ego. I'm not saying this to brag. I've appeared on HBO, Showtime, ABC, CBS, Stars, and BET. I was not asked to speak to you today because I've been in films and television shows with people we all love, Eddie Murphy, Robin Williams, Jennifer Lopez, Jamie Foxx, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, and many others that I've had the good fortune to work with in my 34-year show business career. But I was, and I'm grateful again, asked to speak to you today to tell you, young people, our graduates, that life is 1% of what happens. The other 99% is how you respond. I was asked to speak to you because my life has become service to you, the young people I love. So many young people, just like you. I was asked to speak to you today because of this beautiful young lady, my 16-year-old daughter. Thank you. My 16-year-old daughter, if you can see that, her name was Loisha, which is Igbo and Nigerian and means love life. I gave her that name because I delivered her in a moving car on the freeway on the way to the hospital. True story. As we entered the 98th Avenue entrance ramp, her mother said, "Oh my God, I'm having this baby." I said, "Honey, relax. That's why we on our way to the hospital. Don't trip." She said, "No, I'm having this baby right now." And I reached over, I had my left hand on the steering wheel, and I reached over with my right hand, and I felt the crown of her head as I'm driving, going about 65 miles an hour. Yes, I was doing the speed limit. And her mother began to panic. "Oh my God, the baby's gonna be born in the car, oh my God." I tried to be cool. I said, "Hey, relax, baby. I can drive and deliver. It's all good. I practiced this here. I got this. Just lay back." And I pulled on her head, and I'm still driving, and her mother is panicking. I pulled, and then as if propelled by some unseen force, she literally jumped out of her mother's womb onto the floor, making a splat. And her mother just panicked. She said, "Oh my God, the baby's on the floor. The baby's on the floor." So I said with all the cool I could muster, "Well, honey, pick the baby up. I'm driving. I can't do both. I can drive and deliver, but I can't drive and pick up." That's all I'm trying to say. And she picked her up and said, "It's a girl." And as God is my witness, at that exact moment, Isn't She Lovely came on the radio. Yes. And as I drove mother and daughter to the hospital, she was still on the cord. Inwardly, I was panicking, but I wanted to be calm for my daughter and her mom. And I had a prayer, and I said, please, God, don't let my baby die in this car, please. We made it to the hospital. She survived the traumatic birth. They cut the cord, and I wrote on her birth certificate, place of birth, 580 freeway. Attending physician, Donald Lacey, BD, baby daddy. That was before that saying was popular. I'm serious, it was. This is 1981 now. She was a beautiful, bright, loving young lady, if I could describe her for her. She was a conflict resolution mediator at McClymonds High School. This picture I showed you is the last picture I had of her when she was 16. In the summer of 1997, a classmate of hers by the name of James Valerie, who was 17, I believe, was murdered. And she told me, Daddy, I want you to help me write a play to honor my fallen friend and get people to stop the violence. I'm tired of all this killing. And I hugged her and she cried, and I've never been more prouder of a human being in my life. She wanted to do something positive to honor her friend. A few months later, she was coming from her job at McDonald's on Market Street, and she was waiting at the bus stop with her friend, and a young man from the neighborhood stopped and asked them if they wanted a ride home. Her friend sat in the front by the driver, and my daughter sat in the back. But what they didn't know is that earlier that day, the driver had had a beef with several individuals, and they were looking for him. Sometime after the time he picked them up, they saw the van and spotted him. And when the van stopped around the corner from her house, 4 individuals walked to the front of the van shooting at him, and he ducked. And my daughter caught the majority of the gunfire. 7 bullets. She was killed instantly. I was devastated. I was in LA at the Improv that night it happened. And when I got the news, I was up all night on the telephone trying to figure out, why would someone kill my beautiful daughter? She wasn't in a gang. She was a B student. She had a job at McDonald's. Why? So my immediate action was, I want revenge. This is my firstborn. But the last person I talked to on that horrible night was my grandmother, Mother Pearl Franklin, Church of God in Christ. She lived to be almost 102 years old. And she told me, my only grandson, what the devil meant for evil, God was going to turn to good. And right then, I thought of what my daughter had taught me a few months earlier when she said, Daddy, I want to do something to stop the violence. So instead of seeking revenge against the people who took her life, I started the Love Life Foundation, which again is the meaning of her name, to honor her memory. We started with $0. We had a march on the spot where she was slain. Over 2,000 people attended, including the mayor of Oakland, Elihu Harris, Congresswoman Barbara Lee. We marched through the neighborhood where the killers were from. We started an after-school program that did such work. I was invited to the White House by Hillary Clinton in 1999. Barbara Lee proclaimed the work of the Love Life Foundation from the floor of Congress. We received several awards from the National Council on Crime and Delinquency, the American Red Cross, and others. And as of April 5th, 2016, I am pleased and honored to tell you that by a 5-3 vote, Love Life is the official motto of the city of Oakland. In a few months, thank you. In a few months from this night, your graduation night, every entering Oakland sign will say the words, Love Life, to honor her and all victims of violence. And while I've lost one, I've gained thousands. So many young people I've helped get through college like you. And all of these wonderful things has happened since my daughter's tragic murder, because I say again, life is 1% of what happens. The other 99% is how you choose to respond. I decided to respond to hate with love, to my daughter's death with life. Love life. We live in serious times where Agent Orange Julius Caesar is the president. Lord have mercy. We need your bright minds, your talents, your youthful spirit, your determination. We need you to take control of your destinies to save this worn, torn, hate-filled world and transform it into a world you want it to be. A world full of love and tolerance. And no matter how many times you fall, how many times you are told no, how many obstacles get in your path, no matter how difficult the journey may be, you are in control. Your future is not yet written, and you have the power to make your future and the world's future what you imagine it to be. And I'll share this as I come to a close. I'm in restorative justice process right now. The one man convicted of killing my daughter has been in jail for 19 years. And by the grace of God, I'm going to visit him and look him in his face and tell him I forgive him, because we have to start forgiving and loving each other. But I want to close by saying to my graduates, no matter what happens, never forget that life is 1% of what happens. The other 99 is how you respond. Respond with brilliance, faith, hope, dedication, hard work, compassion, and there is nothing you cannot accomplish. Congratulations, and thank you for listening. Love life. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Donald, for those powerful and uplifting and encouraging words to our graduates. Now is the moment you've all been waiting for. Will Vice President of Instruction, Tramvo Kumamoto, please come forward?
It's not me you're waiting for. It's you we're waiting for. So thank you, President Tomanang, for this honor of presenting to you the class of 2017. These are our candidates for the degrees and certificates in the programs here at Berkeley City College. Will you, the graduates, please stand up and remain standing. President Tomanang, on behalf of the faculty and staff at Berkeley City College, it gives us great pleasure to present to you the candidates for the associate and certificate degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Peralta Community College Board of Trustees and the Board of Governors of the State of California, I confer upon you the degrees of Associate in Arts, Associate in Sciences, Associate degrees for transfer, Certificates of Achievement, and Certificates of Proficiency.